to share it through your platform to help parents get a better idea how to deal with this.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So let's start first actually with the first main question. What is anxiety?
Anxiety is when there is a fear and there is excess worry that overrides the brain. There's a lot of kids go, even adults go through numerous kinds of fears or worry that sometimes are really mild and they're not really severe. But sometimes it just takes, it goes a bit overboard, and that's when it becomes anxiety, when we overthink things, when we overthink our fears and our worries. And it's not really a concern when there is a limit to it, but our concern is when fear overrides the brain. And when I talk about the brain, I'm talking about the limbic system. I'm going to get a bit technical here in terms of the brain. We're talking about the emotional part of the brain, the amygdala, which gets activated when we need to protect ourselves. It gets triggered when there's fear and there's anger. So when we're talking with our kids that have this, a lot of worry and fear from sleeping alone, for example, fear from going into the water, they're not really in their critical thinking brain, because their prefrontal cortex, which is it's underdeveloped, the critical thinking brain is underdeveloped, it shuts down. And anxiety takes over, and the brain does what it has to do. It goes into protecting us, into the fight, flight, or freeze mode. So that's what anxiety is.
So can you say that anxiety is like also fear, like linked to the person who is like always have fear towards something? Is it / anxiety, or is it different?
Anxiety is fear and worries, but sometimes fear can be controlled. Fear is something that happens now and you're scared of. Anxiety is you're scared from a fear that might happen, or you're taking something small that happened and you're like dwelling on it. Kids are dwelling on that fear. So anxiety is fear, but it's taking over our life. Like it's crippling us from taking decisions, and it's worries as well. So so that's what's happening, and in the child's brain. So basically, the child is not really in a state where you can sit there and say, no, it's not really a big deal. You can go ahead. It's not really that much of a big deal. You can sleep alone. I'm right here. They're not really in their critical thinking brain. They're really actually scared of what's going on. So we're here today to talk of how we can communicate this to the child, and what strategies and what are the things that trigger those fears and anxiety in the child. So first, how do we recognize it? How do we recognize that our child has anxiety, not just fears that we can be okay with? First of all, it's school refusal. They don't want to go to school. They're scared. They refuse to school. They come up with ideas. They come up with things to tell you that they like excuses why they don't want to go to school. And second, there is anger, because anger is secondary emotion. So it comes as anger. They lash out, they yell, they scream. That's because they're anxious deep inside. It comes also as tears. There's a lot of, I can't do that. I don't know how to do that. I don't want to. I'll never be able to. Or they can't sleep. They have a sore tummy. They're sick. They feel nauseous. They're clingy. And even they're withdrawn. Sometimes it doesn't show on the child. They're silent most of the time because they're anxious. So that's how we recognize anxiety. And it's perfectly not. I'm sorry?
How can you help them as parents to overcome this anxiety?
To help them, first, we need to know how we're influencing that. What are the factors that are influencing the anxiety? First, it can be genetics. It can be also parental hyperconcern. The parent is anxious as well. The parent, has a hyperconcern, and they need to tone down their anxiety to help their child lessen their anxiety. And when I talk about hyperconcern, I'm not really here shaming any parent if they're anxious or they're overprotective over their child. Really want to, instead, I'm trying to highlight how influential you are on your child, how influential your emotions are on your child. So what we need to do is we need to be the balance that the child lacks. If you're an anxious parent, what you need to do first is to be your own balance. First, pause, Why are you anxious? What's going on for you? Is it really that dangerous? Take a step back and then take a step in and relax. So pause. It's very important to pause if you're an anxious parent, okay? And breathe, okay? And then try to say yes more often. Are you saying a lot of no's to the child? Are you feeling uncomfortable in helping your child explore? So a lot of no's will actually cause anxiety in the child. So we want to help them to be more confident, to explore the world and environment around them. So limit the no's as much as possible and start little by little, because you're anxious about, those changes. Like we want to start little by little with a child. So you start little by little and let things grow. For example, your child wants to go to school alone. Like he's a 10-year-old and he wants to go to school alone, and you're anxious about that. Come up with an idea with your child. Maybe not walk beside them, walk behind them and few steps back, or walk halfway through and give them the phone to check in on them when they reach school. And set things that feel good for you and for the child. For example, okay, you want to go to school today? Go with your friend, or call me in 10 minutes and let me know where you are when you're going to school. So just, set them for success. We don't want to set them for failure. So do things that are really step by step. And when they see the success, their anxiety will lessen, and your anxiety also will lessen with your child. So those are the parent hyper concerns that we need to be careful.
But
another thing is, yeah.
Sorry. Because you mentioned that let them be more confident. So is confidence linked to anxiety in a certain way, or is it not related to? So is it like you can be confident?
It comes in different shapes. We always say behavior is communication. Anxiety can come, as I said, as anger. They can maybe say this child is really like he has a high temper. No, he's anxious, but it looks like a high temper, like a child that is always, angry. It also can come as if they don't have confidence, but it's not really that. It can come into in different forms. So we have to look into behavior. What is it really? What's happening for the child? Another thing that can help and influence anxiety is the decline of play. I use play therapy with kids. I'm a play therapist, and I've noticed that children there's a huge decline in play. When I say play, it's not the structured play where you take your child to tennis and they play there, or to football. This is structured. This is someone telling them what to do. I'm talking about unstructured play, where the child decides to do things, where there's risky ways to explore his environment, and they take decisions, they explore, they get curious. So the decline of play causes anxiety because the child is not really exploring his environment, and play is the child's world. It's the child's language. So we want to influence play more and stress on that. So what I suggest is probably do homemade projects with your child. Let them get a hammer, maybe risky play. Risky play is really good because they're exploring their boundaries as well. So get a hammer and nails. Don't be scared if I say that. Don't be scared. But you're there. You're keeping...
Not because the kids are keeping for the house itself, like a hammer with the kid.
You know what I did? I got my child. I'm getting my child actually. He's 3. He's 4, and I'm getting him wood and some nails because he loves to be hands-on. He always wants to, use the hammer. So be there, show them, teach them, tell them how to notice the needle, and just let them try it out with you. Let them explore risky play and let them play. There's also another factor, is the increased pressure. With the lockdown, this also pressured us as parents a lot. I know, with the homework and everything that's going on. We were teachers, we were parents, we were, psychologists, we were, we were everything. We were holding everything together, and this caused a lot of pressure on us. Maybe we gave it to our child as well. So there's increased pressure on reading, writing, accomplishing to be the best, comparing them to other kids. Are they walking on time? Are they inside the line, coloring inside the line? So we have to really, does it really matter at this point, the expectations that we're setting on a 4-year-old or a 5-year-old? So let's kind of just take it easy on yourself, on your child, and decrease that pressure. And probably, you know, be the balance and talk to other parents and ask them what are they doing with their child, their older kids who have kids and they have experience. What have they done? So, you know, just taking it easy on you and your child. And there's another thing is giving into fear. When it comes to anxiety, some children give into fear. They're scared to going to school because there's someone that yelled at them there. And we as parents, because we really want to protect them, we say, okay, stay at home, I'll deal with this, and I'll talk to the school. So we're really giving into fear. Or the child doesn't want to sleep alone, and he's 5, 6, or 7 years old, or even 10. He doesn't want to sleep alone, and we're giving into fear. We're like, okay, come into my room when you wake up at night. This is okay. I've done that. I've done that. Okay, I've done that. I was that parent too. Because you want to sleep as well, so you don't want to be so. But really, let's see what we want to teach our child. We want them to be curious. Curiosity is a character strength. The more curious of that fear you are, the more you normalize it, the more you explore it, and the more you let go of it. So, for example, if your child doesn't want to sleep alone, we said little by little, so step by step. Don't force things on the child. Don't throw them into the fear. So what we say is, I know. So we talk about it. Today I'm gonna sit next to you in bed today. We're gonna read a book. I'm gonna keep the night light for you here, and then I'm gonna go just into the kitchen to do the dishes. I'll be right back in 5 minutes. I know you're safe. So you say those words. I know you're safe. And I'll be right back. So you check in and then you go back. What you want to do is you want to leave when your child is not yet asleep. So you're really letting him deal with that fear. And when they see that they actually done it, they've actually reached the goal that they've never reached before. You are setting them for success. So start it step by step and, you know, gradually, you know, make it 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then you just read the book and go out, you know, throughout the weeks. So those are the things that we want to focus on. Other things that is important when it comes to anxiety is exercise, is sleep, good nutrition, good relationships, meditation. There's also just breathing exercises. Yeah. So those are the things that.
We have actually a question from Cynthia as well. She's asking if you are already in fear from the whole situation, you can't help but pass this fear on, especially if you want to keep the child safe. So what are the techniques that like you can do? So
if she is in fear, if she has a fear, right?
Of COVID, of the situation, of everything we've been through this year.
Because you are the parent, you need to be the coach as well. You need to regulate yourself, because if you're not regulated, your child will never regulate. So basically they take, it's mirror neurons, they take what the feelings and the emotions you're going through. Maybe seek help, professional help, if you have this fear, so you can help your child overcome it. And if you feel you don't need professional help, try breathing exercises, meditation. I know a lot of people talk about this, but it really works.
My fear was just to explain, because she needs to explain to children as young as 3 years old about the coronavirus, and she's feeling anxious about it herself. So like how can she just?
Okay, I got it. Sorry. Okay. That what she needs to do about the coronavirus is that she needs to simplify information. He's 3.5, you said. So we need to really simplify information, because we don't want to scare the child and let them feel that there's no control in their life. Because as we know, children need control in their life. They need boundaries, they need control to feel safe. If there's no control, they're going to get anxious. And so what we need to do is we need to explain there's coronavirus outside. And there's a lot of stories, there's beautiful stories that I can share with you later that you probably can put on your platform. That can be read to your child. Why they should wash their hands. They can do this experiment. I don't know if you've seen that experiment with the pepper, that the child puts his finger in the pepper. So you need to help the child visualize it through stories or through that experiment, or just simply say there's coronavirus outside, and this virus can get infected by different people if they kiss each other or they hug each other or they. So what we need to do is wash our hands, and I'll keep you safe, and I'll make sure that you're safe, and we're careful in the house, and that's it. You don't need to really dwell on it a lot for your child.
So we keep it simple as it can. So we don't make it bigger in their head, and so the anxiety doesn't even get bigger and the fear stay the minimum, right?
Of course, simplify things, give them the right information for their age, what's developmentally appropriate for their age, and just simplify it for them.
We have someone who's asking, hi, my 5-year-old doesn't want to do any activities at home, neither a toy anymore, but having free time. He just wants to sit or do whatever nonsense play. Is it okay? Like free play, I guess she means. We
just talked about that. And unstructured play is definitely not nonsense play. That's what we as adults, we were told when we were kids. He's just playing, it's just play, or he's wasting his time, he's playing. Play is so essential. What he's doing is he's creating, he's exploring, he's imagining. What he's doing is developing neurons in his brain that are so essential for his age. He's 5. It's amazing that he's using nonsense play. It's great. Like, don't ever think that what he's doing is not is not important.
Great. I just have a question for you. If a child is just having these moments where they're used to sitting at home and they don't want to go, now that restrictions are easing, they don't want to go to supermarket, they don't want to even go on play dates. They're not mentioning anything, but they just don't want to do it. Is it a source of anxiety or fear, or it's just like they're used to staying home and they're just used to other different activities now, they don't want to go out?
Kids, first of all, we live in a very fast-paced world. We used to always rush our kids with supermarkets, play dates, and everything. This pause was really important for our kids. I'm sorry?
The age is 8 and 9-year-olds.
Okay, so I really don't know what's going on there, but if they don't want to go to the supermarket, is it really a big deal if they don't want to go? So let's really look at things. Why do we want them to go out to the supermarket? Maybe to
get out of the house.
get out of the house. But this is not something appealing to them. You know, going to a supermarket is not appealing. Maybe ask them what they want to do. So say, today we're going to go out. We're not staying home. So you be the decision maker because you are the parent. Today we're not going to stay home. We're going out. What do you want to do? So give them choices. You want to go to walk in the park and do a picnic outside, so make it appealing. Or you want to go on a ride on a bicycle. Which ones do you want? And if they choose a third option, say, okay, it seems like you can't choose, so I'll do the choosing for you. And if they choose, say, okay, you've done the choice, good choosing today. So you're really helping them choose and letting them go out.
Our options are limited now.
Now in
Dubai, with the temperatures and stuff, but
yeah. I have another question actually. Can you give us like few strategies to help minimize and teach our kids how to overcome this anxiety, other than the thing that you just said, like bullet point meditation, like any few techniques or something that we can easily do it at home without the help of a professional?
Yeah. Those are the things I'm giving you are things that you can do at home easily. But what you need to do when your child is anxious is you need to be present. You don't need to really fix it for them. You don't. Because if you fix it for them, first of all, you don't need to keep talking about it. Why are you anxious? What's going on? Tell me more. So when you're doing that, what's happening is they get more anxious about it. So let's first name it. Let's give it a silly name. My daughter has anxiety, some sort of anxiety. And I asked her, I said, what do you want to name that anxiety? You know, that feeling when you feel that she has a lot of what ifs. She's like, what if this happened? And what if? And then when we finish something, and then she dwells on it. And I said, do you want to call it a silly feeling? You want to call that a silly feeling? So we're giving it a name. And she said, no, I want to call it a box feeling. Oh. And that was amazing because it's really boxing, she's really, it's limiting her. And so I asked her, she gave it a name. And I just sat with her, you know, you really don't like it when you feel this box feeling. I know it's really overwhelming. So we're just being present. When you are normalizing it, you're making it normal. Things will, kids will overcome it. So just be there, be empathetic. Listen, don't dismiss it. Don't ever dismiss it because it will stay in their head. They will never overcome it. They need to normalize it. You can do another thing, which I've done also with kids, is you can turn it into a game. What we want to do is we want to contain that anxiety. We are in control of that. We do like this, something called the worry worms. Is we do worms. We draw them, we cut them out, and we put them, like she's worried from sleeping alone, or she's worried from going to school, and we put them around the house. And we're gonna put them in a can. We say we're gonna put them today in a can, and we're gonna catch those. Where are you, worry worm, about, you know, letting me sleep alone? And just so you're really using your body, you're present, and they're doing it. There's action behind it, and you contain it. What happens after that? You need to tape it, like cover it with something so you can't open the worry worms. You're controlling that. So this is one thing that they can do. Yeah. Another thing they can do as well is, because you want them to come back to their body, you want them to be present and not, you know, go into a lot of thinking and, you know, override the brain. So you can bring them a bracelet, or you can use a ring, and just tell them this ring or a rock or a stone, and this ring or this bracelet is so special. It will keep you safe. Whenever you feel you're anxious, whenever you have this, you know, box feeling or silly feeling or whatever, a dragon feeling, whatever it is, just look at it and say, I'm calm and I'm safe. This is for kids that are like 10 years old, that can really understand what you say when you say, I'm calm and I'm safe. And use breathing. Let's use breathing together. Let's breathe. So be that coach that they need when they're feeling anxious.
Actually, at what age does anxiety start appearing in a kid? Anxiety
can start very, very early on, even at birth. It has to do even with traumatic birth. If the parent went through a traumatic, birth experience, and they had emergency, it affects the brain, because the stress hormones going into the brain. So it causes a child to become anxious. You know, they cries a lot. I had a very bad, me myself, I went through 2 very bad cases, and that's why my child has anxiety. It can be one of the things. Yeah.
We have a question from a mom saying that she cannot now take her 17-month child to the park. So how can she keep her busy?
She's super active.
She's super active daughter. Yeah.
Yeah. What you need to do, have you ever considered messy play? It can be very simple. You have to be comfortable with that. If you're not, just set a place to put something on the floor. Get just flour and water and let them mix. Don't tell them what to do. Don't tell the child what to do. Don't teach the child. Let them play and get it out of their system. Don't ask them what color is this, what color is that. Just let them play, get messy, explore it. It's safe if they put it in their mouth because it's flour and water and the spoon and measuring cups. Just do that, get creative with that. Even paint, let them get messy with their paint. Messy play is so important for the brain development.
Thank you. So, another mom was asking that some kids tend to keep their feelings to themselves and do not open up, but you can feel it through their actions. So how do you approach those kids? Actually, yeah, I have
the best way. I don't know if you've noticed that some kids are like that because sometimes it's due to a lot of reasons. It can be because maybe they got dismissed several times when they talked about something. Or their fears were minimized, or whatever they were talking about. But sometimes it's just their personality. They're kind of reserved and introverts and don't express a lot. What you need to do, what's actually worked and research have shown, is that when kids engage in manipulating their hands or something, like coloring something or using Play-Doh, they open up easier because they're engaged. then when they're sitting on TV and watching something, you know, they will not respond to you. So do it in a way that's not really so obvious. It's when they're playing, just open up a conversation.
All right. And what if he doesn't really want to talk about it, and you cannot really force it? So, but in a way, it teases the parents because they want to help out in any term. But what is anything that you can try to open up?
If you cannot force something on the child,
about it.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about it. You say, I know you don't want to talk about it. I respect that, but I'm here whenever you want to talk about it. And you need to be accepting. So let's see, have we been accepting with the child when they've approached us about different things? Why are they not talking about it? Do they fear us? Are they scared from punishment? Those are the things that we want to look at before we know what we can do. Why is this happening? What's behind this behavior? What is he trying to tell me when he does not want to open up? And just be that safe. If he needs time, give him time, but show him that it's really safe to open up. Use stories about a certain subject that you feel that you should talk about, and this opens up things usually. Right. And sometimes role play, if the child is young, role play can help as well.
Yeah.
You role play the scene. Yeah.
So we have a question also from a mom. She's saying, my 3.5-year-old boy would say, I'm scared of the rain, or I'm shy, whereby I wonder if he's really scared or shy, for instance. How would I know if he's describing his feelings, how can she help him?
How can I find out?
How old is the child?
Through play. How can she find out more through play? She's 3.5 years old.
Okay. There's certain developmental fears that are really normal. For example, when a child is 3, they're scared from imaginary figures, from supernatural beings, from the dark, from noises, you know, thunder and flood. Those are normal. Those are normal fears. What she wants, how can I do to help him overcome it, is because you were cutting off. Did you say what can I do?
Feelings through play, right?
Yeah, she's saying how would I know if he's describing what he's feeling is correct, and how can I find more through play? Any idea or tips?
Okay, so you can bring 2 characters or whatever number you want, but make it maybe 2 is enough in this case, and just talk about it. Just let them play. For example, he's scared from the thunder. Oh my God, he wants to sleep, but there's thunder. What should he do? Like when she said that, why is he scared? What happens? What does he feel inside? So we're really, trust me, when you wonder with the child, what should we do right now? The child will definitely give you an answer, or he will give you a puzzling look, thinking of an answer, but you can see it in their eyes. And sometimes he said, whenever you give him voice, he will try to use it through play. Maybe he will bring the toy and he will smash the other toy. Oh, you don't want him to talk about that, huh? You don't want him to speak. So let him so be that voice that he wants to use, and use play to help him overcome it. But always wonder, what's going to happen? What should we do now? How can we help him with that? So he will overcome it and he will process it. Play processes through emotions and behaviors that are difficult.
Great. Another mom was asking, whatever I give to my daughter, she directly put it in her mouth, which scares me so much. I think
this is the same mom who was asking you about she couldn't take her hyperactive child to the park. Yes. So I guess messy play
scares her as well.
Yes, because she's exploring. This is sensory play. She's exploring. It's totally normal. She does not understand that she shouldn't put it in her mouth, even if we yelled at her. But when we yell and we react, no, this is causing anxiety in the child. So you're giving him this sudden reaction that they never expected. So just be calm. No, let's use this one and give him something else, like a banana. You really want to put something, you want to taste it, huh? You want to eat something, or you want to try it out, you want to see how it feels, and then give him something. Let's use, for example, an apple. Or so, you know, direct them, but don't show that fear. Although you might be scared inside, but just relax and, you know, just stay present, because obviously she likes to explore. She's a very curious child, and curiosity is really, really it means that she's an intelligent child. Curiosity is really important.
So what else do you have to tell us about anxiety, like for moms to know? We don't have any questions.
We don't have a question, but yes. I have a question actually. For the older kids, like 10 or 11, if they don't discuss their day, but they might have some nightmares, or they might wake up in the middle of the night and then just like scared or ask for somebody. But how do you know if it's something related to school or something that's happening during the day?
Yeah, this does not happen. It does not happen overnight. When kids are reserved and they don't want to open up, they won't change in a day or two. So don't get frustrated if your child doesn't open up quickly. Just give him time. It's a new skill that they're learning, and it's a new habit they're learning that they need to open up. So just take it easy on your child. The expectation level, we need to lower it down a bit, and we need to be present. So something is waking you up at night. I really wonder what it is, and I wonder if I can help you with that. Or do you want to draw it to me? You want to show it to me? Do you want to draw it for me? Do you want to write a story about it maybe? So you're actually bringing it down. They're seeing it, they're visualizing it. So use the word show me. You want to show me what's happening through drawing, through writing a story, whatever it is. And when they see you're empathetic, you're really there, you really see it as something important, they will start using you as a safe person to go to, and whatever happens in their life, they will reach out to you because you're that empathetic person that they need.
We have actually the same mom who was telling you that her son is scared from the rain. She said that now he started biting his nails. So is it a sign of anxiety, or is it not really related to anxiety?
It can be. It can be a sign of anxiety, and it can be both. There's a lot of people that bite their nails just out of habit, but it can be a sign of anxiety. What we need to do is, like I said, be there, be present, play more often, take them out for exercise, change of scenery, breathing exercises. So when a child comes to you and they're really scared from very simple things like, oh my God, there's thunder, or like there's rain, that means there's thunder coming. So we don't want to dismiss that. We're gonna be okay. I see that this is something that scares you. Let's breathe in. So breathe. So you're coaching him. Okay. So what can we do about that? What should we do to make you feel safe? Or I'll take care. Let's probably close the windows. What do you think about that? So problem solving with them, because they need that. They don't have the skill. When a child overreacts on something or does certain behavior, like teaching anything, alphabets, they need someone to coach them, to help them through their emotions.
Can you just rename a bit the signs of what are the signs, and to recognize the anxiety in a kid? Because some other moms just joined now, and I think it would be interesting just to pinpoint them again for them to know.
One of the signs, like I said, behavior is communication. So one of the signs that come out is anger, because anger is a secondary emotion. Anger usually means there's anxiety, there's fear dwelling, and they're scared of something. It can be also tantrums, lots of tantrums going on. It can be sore tummy, if nauseous, they tell you have a stomach ache. So you can ask, there's something on your mind worrying you? They can be clingy, or they can even withdrawn. They're withdrawn more than they usually are. It can be school refusal. And too many what ifs. A child goes from one scenario to the other. It doesn't end. So this is also a sign of anxiety.
I see. Right. Do you have anything else that you can give tips, advice in general, main topic?
Maybe for returning to school for children for children returning to school now in fall under a different scenario than they're used to. How do you prepare them?
First of all, you need to understand what's going on at school. What's the precautions they're taking? What's going to happen? So you as a parent, you need to clear things for yourself so you can clear it out for your child. What you can do is you can probably go for a ride to school, take your child with you and tell them, we're going to come here. If you can go into the classroom, they allow you. So you're going to be sitting here on this class, see how there's a distance probably between the desks. So they're doing that just to keep you safe. Don't worry, they will take care of you. So you don't want to overwhelm him if he's keeping space or not. So you're gonna sit here and you just go through the steps that the school gave you, but simplify it for them, and always be that person that says, don't worry, mom and dad know what to do. We're gonna keep you safe. So you don't want to put a lot of responsibility on an overwhelmed child that has a lot to do during his day in school and playing. You don't want him to be so cautious about everything that's going on and increases anxiety. So get your facts right, and then give it to your child simplified as much as possible.
All right. Let's see if we have anything else. I think we asked all the questions asked. Yeah. Anything else that you would like to add? So
maybe steps for you tomorrow as parents. Let's minimize the no's if it's possible. Let's set our expectations low on our kids. Accept more than expect. That's my tip for you. And name the feeling rather than asking the child to think about it. Name it as a first step to managing anxiety. Normalize it, be there for them, and regulate yourself. Co-regulated parent and a calm parent leads to a co-regulated child, because you know how it feels when you're co-regulated. If you need to take it, because I know you're overwhelmed, I'm a parent too, you know, we're humans. We need to be honest about this. And we're not always regulated. It's not normal for us not to feel those different feelings during the day. So take a step back if you can. Get your partner or your husband with you on this. If you're becoming anxious, tell your husband, I'm anxious when my child starts screaming. Can you be with me? Because I get anxious. So you can, be the voice when I feel like, maybe use a sign or something to help you shift between the roles when your child is anxious. Get out of the room and tell your child, I'll be right back if they're screaming, and I'll be right back. Just 2 minutes. I know you're angry. I'll be right back. And just give me 2 minutes and just go out. Don't close the door on them. Just go out and ask your partner to come in. If he's not at home, just go into the bathroom, breathe in, check in with yourself, your heart rate, breathe, say it's okay, it's not personal, and you need to coach your child.
Actually, Maha, we just got another question. Trishi is asking, my daughter is scared of Humpty Dumpty. She starts crying whenever she sees the video. Is it okay to turn the video off or change the video is helpful? I want her to overcome this fear. Like
it's normal, because Humpty Dumpty is really a very, very, very big character. Yeah, and if you look at him, he's really scary if you think about it. Maybe he does something that's so exaggerated it scares her. So how old is she?
She didn't say.
So I'm guessing 3, because Humpty Dumpty, 3 years old. Yeah. It's normal. Children this age, so maybe I can tell you the age range for developmentally appropriate fears right now, so people can know what's developmentally appropriate when it comes to.
She's 17 months.
Yeah, it's really normal for her age to be scared from those. So maybe say something about it. Oh my, he scares you, really? You don't like that when he comes to the screen. Maybe we should change that, put something that makes you feel better. And just change it. Why do we want to force something on a child that's really not making him comfortable? So just change it, because they're very small to know how to problem solve through it. So you're problem solving it for them, and eventually they'll learn that.
Wait, we have another
one.
We
have just another question. What tip can you share to help kids overcome fears and engaging in physical activities, like climbing a wall or swimming?
Like we said, we want to set them for success, not failure. So what we don't want to do is we want to take it little by little and step by step. So I don't know how old is the child, but what we need to do is, for example, water.
6.
You don't like 6. Okay, 6. So that's good. They understand. So say you really don't want to get into the water. I know it's really hard for you. I'm going to be right here next to you. And you know what? We can just watch it today. We don't need to get into the water today. We can just watch it. And go back, when you go home, what you've done today, you just watched the water, you just looked at it. Really good job. So you're setting them for, you have a goal and you're setting them through, you're guiding them through that goal. You're creating pathways for them. And when they create pathways, little by little, maybe next time, maybe in 2 weeks, like several times after they watch it, maybe they can dip their finger in the water. Maybe they can, bring their favorite toy. Their favorite toy is scared of water. Maybe he can just dip his fingers too, and then they can go. And little by, don't force them into something, because this will they create an opposite reaction. This will be really bad for them. So we want to set them for success, right? That's what we want to do. We want for our children. So create those pathways and those goals to reach that goal, and then talk about how amazing they've done today.
So we need a lot of patience as well from our side.
Yes, because that's what we lacked. No one taught us that. Parenting is something we learn by doing. So no one really, there should be a course really about this, what goes on. But like teaching kids the alphabets, we don't let them read words suddenly. We don't expect them to read sentence when they read a word as well. So it starts little by little, knowing the sounds, knowing it. Behavior is the same thing. It's in the brain. So why should we not teach them step by step and be patient with them as well?
So true. So I think that's it. Do you have anything else that you would like to say?
If you've done all of this, you tried everything and you still feel that you need help, probably you don't have the help, maybe you're a single parent, seek professional help, because it's okay to do that. You want your child to overcome something, so seek professional help. You're doing an amazing job. We want the best for our children, so just go through those steps. Whatever works for you is great. If it doesn't, go to a professional.
Thank you so much, Maha.
Thank you so much.
Seriously.
Thanks a lot for today.
Thanks for coming
Thank
with
you.
us.
Thank you.
And all the amazing tips. Actually, we had a lot of hearts and everybody's saying thank you, but I couldn't say it too up. So I just was asking the question. Everybody said thank you for your answer.